Hey everybody, Super Squee here of the Emotionally Unstable Gamer channel on YouTube. Back again, still a little quiet, still close to the mic, because it is after everybody's bedtime, and it is past 4 in the morning, so here we go. So I separated this because technically it's like a mini-series and the final season. It was good. It was good. The end. Like I literally just put, it was good, the end. So, I like the movie. I like the original series. There was always this problem that continued even into this miniseries as Steven got older, where it just feels like nothing's at stake. It's like they always tease that something's at stake, but in the end it's like Steven's never really in actual danger, like ever. There was even a thing that everybody kind of guessed was going to happen, and then it happened, and it was just kind of like, this could have been so cool and so messed up and got solved in one episode with the power of friendship. And I get it, and it's still beautiful. It's a beautiful sentiment. So I'm not going to like shit on Rebecca Sugar or like her choice of what she did with it, but I think it would have been cool to go a different way. But, you know, either way I enjoyed the end. And it was a pretty good end, like all things considered. The show was wild, and I would love for them to make another season. I'm not even at a loss for words, but I feel like this shit is relevant to idiots right now more than usual. It's an interesting show. I enjoyed watching it, but I think it bothers me how much I wasn't shocked. Don't get me wrong, I'm not the type of person to just act like every single person on the planet is scum. It's just so many religious groups in general, the followers they have are so fucking delusional. I get wanting to have something to believe in, but I don't think you need what these Kool-Aid peddlers are selling, and if you took 5 seconds to have some personal accountability and not lay all your actions on another, or to just do some critical thinking, you'd be like, hey, this is a heckin' bad. I should yeet myself out of here. Regardless, my interest in people and how their inner machinations work is what makes me love watching shit like this. Because yeah, I can go, that's wrong, and these people are crazy. But it's also fun to dissect why they act these ways. Short series, definitely recommend it. This is also on Hulu. I don't know if it's a Hulu original, so I don't know if it'll be on there permanently. But it's on there right now. The big one. But even then, only a small part of it. And that part is absolutely fucking incredible. It doesn't take away from my love of the original. If anything, it makes me love the original even more, especially for the combat differences and the stylistic choices. Let's start with the few things I had issues with. NPCs that talk over all the story dialogue when you're close to them, causing it to sound like you're listening to like 5 people at once. And I get, on the one hand, this feels kind of realistic, like a bunch of people having a separate conversation out in public, but it ends up a clusterfuck a lot of the time. I do love that the NPCs just have these random convos and that some of them really flesh out the world. This is a minor nitpick, but the changing of spell names. I get that this shit has all become standardized across Final Fantasy games and was probably just a translation choice back in the day, but I like how calling the spells Bolt 1, 2, 3 felt like materia was this industrialized thing made by Shinra, not natural magic. Like I said, minor nitpick, and the new names of a lot of said excuse me, sorry. The new names of a lot of materia make sense, but I like the old names that also made sense. Lastly, and this is an issue for me, and I only considered it an issue because later on in the game it isn't really an issue at all. The slums has a lot of textures that just don't look like they're supposed to be so low resolution, like a door that legit looks like PS2 textures, but everything around it looks incredible. This becomes way less of an issue later, but there's a part when you first get to Shinra HQ and the whole area looks to mostly be 3D models, not a high resolution background image like earlier parts, and I think those flat background images are fine and look really cool, but if you can run full 3D models that look incredible and yet have textures that look to be like 720p or less blow up so big, they can't be avoided. There is no excuse. Granted, I have heard a Day 1 patch was supposed to happen, but the COVID-19 stuff may have delayed the patch, which as of 6 days later still hasn't happened. And if that is the case, I get it, and it's a super valid reason it isn't out yet. End minor issues. So I'm gonna go on a little bit more before I finish this. So day one patch never happened. I don't know if it was actually confirmed or just journalists talking out their ass. It could have actually been confirmed. They could have decided like game was fine, ultimately, and they didn't want to waste more time on a patch when they could work on the next part / some other project. Apparently, from people that have dissected the game and like data mined it, the high resolution, like super high fidelity, like flat images are in the game files, but it's like an error of the engine or like Unreal or something not loading the file correctly, which is why we get the weird pop-in and why some of the textures seem lower resolution than they actually should be, considering that the files inside of the game itself are way higher resolution. Anyways, back to the post. I cannot even begin to tell you how awesome this game is, especially for someone whose favorite game of all time is the original. I can understand why some people may be upset with the changes that were made to this game, but I think for the most part they are all amazing changes, and the very minor nitpicks I have with the story beats, the world, the gameplay, and some very few visual areas did not ultimately disrupt my ability to enjoy how mind-blowing this game is. It's not that I couldn't believe that it was possible for them to flesh out the Midgar portion of Final Fantasy VII into a 40-hour game, but I just couldn't imagine how they would actually do it, and I'm extremely happy with what was done. I love the extra added pieces of lore, even when it just came to the monsters and what they actually were. I felt the combat was a lot of fun, and added a lot of strategy to how you play, and I very much enjoyed swapping characters and using all their unique abilities, and I am super excited to replay the game on hard mode, which I am still going to work on. I mostly was picking up extra achievement stuff and haven't gotten to go back to it yet. If you truly don't enjoy this game, that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and one man's trash is another man's treasure, so not everyone will think this game is amazing. But other people disliking or hating the game or talking shit about it has no effect on my enjoyment of it, and nor should it affect anyone else's. I absolutely cannot wait for part 2 and to see the rest of the world fleshed out in such a great way. I don't expect every town and every area to be as packed as Midgar as a whole, but just seeing what they could do with this game makes me have faith in the team. It's not perfect, nothing ever is, but it's more than I ever expected from the remake, and I think that a lot of love was poured into this project. I can only hope they push that same love forward until the project is completed. Is this what you were fucking expecting today? I love my grandmother. I love her so much that I watched these dumb, amazing musical movies with her and my girlfriend Anna, and had a good time because it's pretty good, nonsensical fun entertainment. I really enjoyed the second one more than the first, and I genuinely at first just thought of the second as a cash-grabby husk, but the more I watched it, the more little attention to detail I appreciated. Like a beer a specific character drank when they were younger, and certain songs playing at specific periods in the first movie that replayed at key points in the second, symbolizing shit. I'd love to visit the island that these movies take place on. So cute and dumb, and absolutely love it. So fucking gay in the best way. It's a little lackluster in the greater character development / world story department, but visual storytelling and just the visuals in general, the locations, costumes, and CGI were gorgeous and super cool. I did jump once because those bastards used a fucking cheap jump scare in the beginning, and I hated it more because I knew they were gonna do it right as they did. Felt the acting was fine, like not bad, not breathtaking, just right for something like this. It felt believable. I wanted more from the movie, from what trailers I saw, but I'd say it was worth the $6 rental price and was definitely entertaining. If you want to finish the anime, read manga first, because in my research they time jump and gloss over a lot of shit, especially in the final 2 seasons. That said, I had a good time with the series, and for the most part the animation is really nice. The music is also quite enjoyable. I love the characters, and I'm happy a lot of them got some development, and equally unhappy with how many didn't. So yeah, I was kind of disappointed at the end of this series. I enjoyed the first season immensely. The second season I remembered enjoying a lot, but like rewatching it, it felt like it did jump around and there was like shit missing. And from the research I did about like story stuff on the wiki, I don't know for sure because I haven't read the manga, but it appears that they like jumped time and also like skip shit that was in the manga that didn't happen in the anime or wasn't talked about in greater detail in the anime. So forever ago when I was in high school, I read the summary of the plot and I thought it sounded super cool. And now that I have finally watched it, I am happy to say it was super cool. Yes, yes, good, good. Now I want movies of all the other places they had facilities in their native languages. Because I think that would be awesome. But I really enjoyed this movie. It was fun seeing a couple different actors that are now in way bigger shit at this point. It was a fun little horror movie with a bunch of little cameos and nods to other horror movies and horror media. So now we get a shout out to my friend Chris, who his YouTube will be linked in the bottom. At the beginning, when I started this list, I had decided even finishing a Let's Play or watching another person finish a game was enough for me. So I basically experienced it because that's what my list is about. Me experiencing things to their conclusions by my hands or another. Oh, excuse me. I never actually posted for anything like that though. And because honestly I may never personally play Silent Hill for the PS1, I decided sharing this is a great way to support my friend and to not have to play spoopy game myself because I'm a big baby. First off, Silent Hill is so well done for atmosphere for a PlayStation 1 game. No pre-rendered backgrounds, and honestly, if I was just playing it on PSP, I'd just be like, damn girl, this looks good. Because for real though, it still looks pretty good when you think, hey, this is a PlayStation 1 game. It really drew me in, and the story, though convoluted at times, is pretty easy to follow and interesting, with a fun bamboozle at the end. Monster designs are incredibly creepy, and sometimes I feel unintentionally cute. Granted, that's probably just a personal thing. Music and ambient noise are absolutely incredible, and yeah, the voice direction is pretty bad at points, but the actors themselves aren't terrible, and I enjoyed the effort, considering, again, this is a PlayStation 1 game. Now for my cuties, Chris and Olivia. What a great team they used. What a great team. They used a walkthrough, and I genuinely enjoyed just Olivia guiding and reading the walkthrough as much as both of their commentary. A great balance of personal interjection and letting the game do its thing. I look forward to more Let's Plays from them and genuinely would love more horror games. Maybe a whole series of the Silent Hill games. Wink. Here's hoping Sony does buy Silent Hill because if done right, a remake would be so incredible. Best Chris moment was, he's eating my butthole. Fuck you, Konami, you pachinko machine assholes. So, Chris's YouTube will be down below. It was a lot of fun watching this series. He does not have a ton of content on there, but I know he would appreciate the watch, and the content he does have on there is very enjoyable. He is one of my closest friends, and he is awesome. Honestly, Ramsey is a fucking precious bean. If you do any research and actually watch him and shit other than Hell's Kitchen, and even then, I've seen some of Hell's Kitchen that he curses a lot, yeah, but he ain't wrong in most situations, and those people know what they were getting into. I'd love to eat food that he's made sometime, but I know that will never happen. I love any show he's involved in, and I originally got into this show because of my wonderful friend Jason. Dude is A1. So I know there are some controversies about him. One of the biggest ones I was not aware of until someone posted on my Tumblr post of this a while back was, I can't remember her name, and I feel bad. It's just that I don't watch a lot of stuff with her in it. But she's in Modern Family. She's the Latina mother that's in that show. She was also in the movie Chef. I really like her. I just can't remember her name. And I don't want to, guess and mispronounce it or butcher it. But he was on a talk show. I think it was might have been Jimmy Kimmel, and he seemed real handsy, in an uncomfortable way, and that was the first time I had seen something like that with him. The only thing I could ever find of that, and it seemed very uncomfortable. She was not happy with it. He's got a wife and kids. It just seemed over the top. Or no, it wasn't Jimmy Kimmel. I think it may have been Jay Leno, actually. And But whoever the host was, because I don't want to spend too much time on that. Whoever the host was, even they were like, hey, like, chill out, man. Like, making jokes and stuff too, but not really shutting it down. So it was like, props to her for, like, trying to be as professional as possible in the situation. It did not seem there was some big blow up. So maybe he apologized afterwards. From what I hear, the host had a private bar that guests could access, and he seemed like he was a bit tipsy. That's obviously not an excuse to be creepy or make someone uncomfortable, especially not on live fucking television. But just food for thought. They are both adults. They seem to have talked or dealt with it or whatever, because there didn't seem to be any type of blow up in the media. Not that that's anybody's business, but it was on TV, and Gordon kind of looked like he made an ass out of himself. So either way, I do enjoy the shit that he does and think he's an interesting person nonetheless. But yeah, that'll be it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Love you guys. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. Wear your masks. Don't be an asshole to people. Bye-bye.